Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, the sun rising just like always. The world feels normal. Cars rush to work, airplanes glide across the sky, and the ocean tides crash softly against the beach. But then, in one terrible instant, everything changes. The Earth stops spinning. What would happen? Would we survive? Would the planet itself tear apart? And what kind of world would we be left with if humanity somehow managed to cling to life? Tonight, we'll journey minute by minute, year by year, and even century by century into the future to discover the terrifying truth of what would happen if our planet suddenly stopped turning. The Earth spins at an incredible speed. At the equator, you're moving more than 1,000 miles per hour without even realizing it. But if that spin stopped suddenly, your body wouldn't. In the very first seconds, chaos erupts everywhere. Buildings, cars, trains, even entire oceans continue moving at breakneck speed. Skyscrapers twist like toys, highways crack open, airplanes fall from the sky. At the coasts, walls of water rise up, tsunamis taller than any skyscraper race inland, erasing entire cities within minutes. If you were standing outside, you wouldn't even have time to react. The air itself would keep moving at deadly speed. Imagine a wind faster than the most powerful hurricane ever recorded, flattening entire forests, ripping apart concrete, and hurling people like rag dolls. Only those underground in bunkers, mines, or deep metro stations might survive the first 60 seconds. The Earth, as we know it, ends in less than a minute. But the chaos doesn't stop there. As the spin halts, Earth's oceans begin to move. Normally, the spin keeps water pulled slightly outward, forming a bulge at the equator. Without it, the seas drain away from the tropics and rush toward the poles. Inland floods swallow northern Canada, Siberia, and Antarctica. Entire nations disappear under new inland seas. Meanwhile, countries at the equator, like Brazil, Kenya, and Indonesia, watch their oceans retreat, leaving behind vast wastelands of cracked seafloor. The weather system shatters too. Without rotation, the jet stream collapses. Storms form where they never existed before. Tornadoes hundreds of miles wide stretch across continents. Picture this. You're standing in Florida and you see a black wall on the horizon. It's not clouds, it's a wall of ocean water, higher than the tallest building you've ever seen, racing toward you at impossible speed. For most of humanity, the first hour is the last. And then, something even stranger happens. The day no longer moves. Because Earth's spin creates our 24-hour cycle. Without it, half the planet now faces endless daylight, while the other half sinks into eternal night. On the day side, the sun blazes down without mercy. Temperatures soar above 150 degrees Fahrenheit. 65 degrees Celsius. Crops wither instantly. Rivers boil away into steam. Forests ignite into firestorms that consume entire continents. On the night side, the opposite occurs. The cold sinks lower than anything we've ever recorded. Oceans freeze into solid walls of ice. Cities become frozen tombs. Any survivors huddle near geothermal vents, desperate for warmth. But in between the two extremes lies a narrow band, a strip of eternal twilight where the sun hovers forever on the horizon. Here, the temperature is just bearable. Here, humanity has its only chance. And so, within the first 24 hours, survivors begin a desperate march. They move toward the twilight, toward a line where the sun never rises, never sets, and never moves again. Human civilization, as we knew it, is gone. Governments collapse, cities are abandoned, and wars erupt over the narrow strip of habitable land left in the twilight. The fertile fields of old are gone. so survivors turn to greenhouses powered by whatever energy they can find. Geothermal and nuclear plants run non-stop, becoming more valuable than gold. But an even greater threat looms: radiation. Earth's magnetic field is powered by its rotation. Without that spin, the shield weakens. Deadly solar particles stream toward the planet. The skies light up with brilliant auroras, but the beauty is deadly. Radiation sickness spreads. Cancer rates soar. People retreat underground once more, shielding themselves with layers of metal and stone. Humanity survives, but only barely. Nations are no more. In their place rise desperate enclaves, small twilight nations clinging to the thin belt where life can continue. Generations pass, humanity changes. On the day side, a few survivors remain in hidden underground shelters. Over time, their descendants adapt. Skin darkens to withstand the eternal sun. Bodies grow thinner to handle the heat. They are the sun tribes. On the night side, scattered groups live among the ice. Their skin grows pale. Their eyes adjust to endless darkness. They are the ice clans. And in the twilight, between fire and ice, the twilight colonies rise. These are the largest and most powerful groups, living where crops can grow under artificial light and where temperatures are still survivable. Animals adapt too. In the deserts of the dayside, enormous reptiles evolve to withstand the heat. In the frozen night, predators hunt through the snow, giant wolves and mutated polar bears. In the twilight jungles, insects grow to terrifying sizes, thriving in the humidity. The earth is no longer our earth, it is alien. And among humanity, myths grow. People whisper of the turning, a time when the world once moved. Some believe the earth stopped because of human sin. Others worship the still earth as a god. The past becomes legend. But the Earth itself is unstable. Without rotation, the molten core begins to cool and shift. Volcanoes erupt in chains across the continents. Massive earthquakes tear through what's left of the twilight colonies. And worst of all, the magnetic field collapses entirely. Without it, solar storms batter the Earth. Satellites fry, electronics fail, and survivors are cut off from each other forever. The last remnants of advanced civilization vanish. Humanity is forced to face the truth. This world may not be survivable in the long run. In the centuries that follow, three choices emerge. The first group dreams of restarting the Earth's spin. They imagine building massive engines, city-sized machines that push the planet back into motion, but the resources are unimaginable. The second group looks upward. They turn to the stars, building rockets and arcs to escape this broken Earth. To them, the planet is a grave, and survival lies among the stars. The third group accepts the stillness. They believe humanity must adapt, not escape. They worship the eternal twilight and build new cultures around it. And so, humanity divides between those who want to fix the earth, those who want to leave it, and those who want to embrace it. So what would happen if the earth stopped spinning? At first, chaos and death, then survival, adaptation, and eventually transformation. Humanity would not vanish overnight. We are stubborn, resourceful, and relentless, but the world we'd inherit would be unrecognizable. A world divided between fire and ice. A world where myths replace history. A world where humanity itself evolves into something new. And the ultimate question remains, if this happened tomorrow, where would you choose to live? Would you brave the eternal day? Would you survive in the frozen night? Or would you walk the narrow path of twilight, forever caught between two extremes? The earth may be still, but the future of humanity would keep moving.